Chapter 540, Fighting Against Iron Lady. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. Orange Star Emissary flew over and looked at the corpse of the red fish with her beautiful eyes. What did you say? Is it the humanoid fish of legend? According to the illustration of beasts, it lives in underground magma. It's impossible that it's in the sea. She was an emissary of the black market not only because she was highly talented in cultivation. She had been well read and knowledgeable since childhood. Naturally, she had heard of humanoid fish, a fifth-level savage beast. Humanoid fish lived in the underground magma and grew by devouring spiritual crystal of fire nature in magma. Its defensive power was very strong, so its scales could be used for refining top-class genuine martial armor. It was said that it could even evolve into a sixth-level savage beast. Upon reaching the sixth level it was no longer called humanoid fish but Emberkilin. An Emberkilin's flame was capable of burning a half-saint to death. Zhang Yuochen gently shook his head. He also did not know how it could appear in the sea. The humanoid fish he killed was relatively weak, but even then, it was equal to a monk of the third change in the fish-dragon realm. Zhang Yuochen gained 100,000 military merits from the kill. It was a big gain. Zhang Yuochen said, humanoid fish scales are treasures for refining armor, but its feathers are more precious. The feathers can be woven into flowing light and fire plume clothes, which does not only have strong defensive power but also attack force. Zhang Yuochen plucked a feather from its wings. He pinched the bottom and injected genuine qi into it. Swoosh! A flame emerged from the feather, burning stronger and stronger until it turned into a scarlet ball of fire. The soldiers of Primitive World knew how amazing the power of the flames was after witnessing the damage it was capable of. A fleeting touch could reduce a monk of the Heaven Realm to ashes. If a man wore the flowing light and fire plume clothes woven from the humanoid fish feathers, who could match him in the battlefield? Who would dare approach him without a holy weapon? Who could break through his defenses? It's a really amazing treasure. A lot of the soldiers of the Primitive World watched enviously. Had they not been afraid of Zhang Yuochen's incredible strength, someone might have come forward and grabbed it. Zhang Yuochen collected all of the scales, feathers, and beast tendons. Then, he opened the head with the ancient abyss sword and dug out a scarlet bead around the size of a walnut. The bead was crystal clear, scalding, and there appeared to be a cloud of flame-shaped vital essence glittering inside it. Fire Spirit Bead. It's a really good treasure. If a monk of flame nature takes it, he can quickly improve his cultivation. In the future, if I practice the treasured body of Fire Spirit, devouring the Fire Spirit Bead can prove really useful. Zhang Yuochen nodded and put away the bead. Humanoid fish blood, bone, and teeth were also priceless treasures. However, Zhang Yuochen held these in contempt, so he did not take them. As soon as he left, the corpse of the humanoid fish was immediately carved up and divided among a group of soldiers of Primitive World. To them, every part of a fifth-level savage beast was a treasure. Amitabha. Monk Lidai stood on the surface of the water looking very solemn as he spoke. Everybody, please listen to this poor monk's words. Humanoid fish are social savage beasts, so it can't be alone in this sea area. If my prediction is correct, there are more humanoid fish swimming toward us. A single humanoid fish was already terrifying. If a large group of humanoid fish showed up, even a top master of the ninth change in the fish-dragon realm would be wise to flee. Upon hearing Monk Lidai's words, the soldiers of Primitive World became angry. It's the damn monk again. Because of the nonsense he spouted before, we suffered casualties and serious wounds. This monk is surely cursing us. He said that there would be a half-saint evil corpse. Then it really appeared. He said that we would suffer heavy casualties, then more than half of us died tragically. He said that the half-saint class warship would sink into the sea. Then it really happened. If he continues, all of us will surely die here. Beat him. Beat the jinx to death. Monk Lidai provoked so much anger. Dozens of soldiers of Primitive World encircled him. Monk Lidai stepped back while shouting, "Look, arms givers! The sea has become hot again. It appears about to boil." Sure enough, everyone discovered bubbles surfacing from the sea. The bubbles were bigger than before. The sea surface for hundreds of miles was completely boiling. This is not good. A school of humanoid fish is swimming toward us. Everyone, leave immediately and go in different directions. Situ Fenglan roared. He dove from the python to face the school of humanoid fish with a pitch-black long spear. He knew very well that he could not withstand a school of humanoid fish with his strength. However, he was a level 7 soldier of primitive world and the leader of this brigade. He had to bear this burden. By facing the school of humanoid fish and keeping them at bay, he hoped to give the soldiers of primitive world a chance to survive. Zhang Yuochen watched Situ Fenglan from a distance and saw his indomitable spirit. He was like an iron and blood soldier. Zhang Yuochen nodded and said, "The man is courageous and feisty. There are still admirable people among the soldiers of the Ministry of War after all." Aoxinian asked, "Group leader, are we going to help him?" Situ Fenglan is a superior of the 9th change in the fish dragon realm, much more powerful than us. If even he can't handle them, we'll just bring destruction on ourselves if we rush forward. Zhang Yuochen responded. "The strength of the humanoid fish is overwhelming. The one I killed before was the weakest grown humanoid fish. Hurry, Situ Fenglan can't fend off the whole group, and some of them are swimming in our direction." Humanoid fish could not only swim but also fly. In the face of the attack of hundreds of humanoid fish, even the powerful Situ Fenglan looked vulnerable. He appeared to be in mortal danger. The remaining soldiers of primitive world were escaping in all directions. Zhang Yuochen, Aoxinian, Huang Yanzhen, and Orange Star Emissary simultaneously used genuine chi to mobilize the warship debris. In the form of a ship, the warship debris moved quickly in one direction. It was foggy on the sea surface. Everyone lost their bearings but had no more energy to think about where they were going. All they wanted was to escape. Zhang Yuochen stood at the rear of the warship debris and looked back. He discovered 2 humanoid fish wrapped in flames following them, getting closer and closer. "Abyss." Zhang Yuochen said. Whoosh! The ancient abyss sword flew out of the sheath with a long sword chi. It attacked the humanoid fish that was flying at a low altitude. This particular humanoid fish was relatively strong. Its strength was comparable to that of a monk of the 4th change in the fish dragon realm. Zhang Yuochen controlled the ancient abyss sword, attacking with 200 successive strokes before finally killing the humanoid fish. Meanwhile, the other humanoid fish in the water had already caught up with them. With a swoosh, it flew out of the water. It opened a 2-meter-long mouth, revealing 2 rows of sharp teeth. It bit at Zhang Yuochen. "Collect it." Zhang Yuochen took out the auspicious vase, opened its cap, and collected the humanoid fish into the vase. The auspicious vase instantly became scorching hot, like an iron from the furnace. In the vase, the humanoid fish abruptly rushed forward, hitting the cap. Boom! The auspicious vase shook and flew from his hands. It was thrown several meters into the air. Zhang Yuochen's palm immediately shot out, releasing genuine chi. It condensed to form a huge hand, grasping toward the auspicious vase. Just as the vase was within his grasp, a slim black figure rushed from the water with a swoosh and grabbed it first. It was Iron Lady, one of the evil masters of the black market. "Zhang Yuochen, you have such an awesome holy weapon. Can you give it to me?" Iron Lady asked. "You'd better return it to me." Zhang Yuochen summoned the ancient abyss sword and wielded the sword defending technique, striking at Iron Lady. Swoosh! The combat sword flew out and instantly condensed into dozens of sword chi on the sea surface. Form shifting and shadow changing, Iron Lady was agile. With her toes touching the water, she displayed a weird bodily movement. On the sea surface, 36 black shadows appeared and avoided all the sword chi unleashed by Zhang Yuochen. When they merged, Iron Lady appeared on the warship debris. She thrust her finger between Zhang Yuochen's eyebrows. It was as if her hands were cast in metal. Her finger was sharp like a spear, revealing a cold light. Swoosh! Zhang Yuochen took out a golden holy sword and squeezed it with his fingers. He stabbed forward. The sword tip collided with her fingertip like a pin against an awl. Bang! The powerful genuine chi formed a circle and surged out. CHCH! Iron Lady took a step and her figure quickly changed. She appeared beside Zhang Yuochen and caught Zhang Yuochen's throat with 5 sharp metal fingers. Meanwhile, Zhang Yuochen thrust the sword toward Iron Lady's heart. Bang! It was as if her body were cast in metal. The ancient abyss sword clanged as it made impact. The tip of the sword pierced her body, but she could not feel pain. She continued to move forward in attack. How could this be? Zhang Yuochen felt something cold pressing on his neck. He quickly withdrew his sword and displayed space moving. He moved horizontally to the left and avoided her attack. Iron Lady looked at Zhang Yuochen with some surprise. She had felt a subtle space fluctuation. Could Zhang Yuochen transfer space power? He felt pain in his neck and a warm current gushed out, dyeing his clothes red. He was fast, but not fast enough. Iron Lady's attack left 4 red bloodstains on his neck.